We founded Artemis in the depths of the credit-frozen recession in September of 2009. We're about to celebrate our upcoming 10th anniversary, and I'm extraordinarily proud of what we have built.
We take funds from institutional investors such as university endowments, public pension plans, and invest in real estate assets. And the real goal of the internship program is to give the interns exposure to the real estate industry, not only through the lens of an investor, a private equity firm, but through the multifaceted areas in which you could access commercial real estate.
We do this in conjunction with Blackstone, with Berkeley Point Capital, with Boston Properties, with Edens, Forest City, Cushman, NGKF, CBRE, JBG, and others. Folks that have aligned their interest with us in promoting diversity within the marketplace.
One of the things you'll hear Debbie say a lot is, at Artemis, you can do well by doing good. And I think that mantra is really powerful in that our business is not only predicated upon our financial returns in the traditional sense. Having diversity of thought, diversity of opinion, diversity of background is beneficial for our industry and for our business too.
Good for me meant widening the circle of opportunity for those that are underrepresented in our industry. We did this through our Artemis's Emerging Manager Program that is supported initially by New York Common and New York City and Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund and many other public pension plans that believe diversity drives better performance. And we were able to support over more than 20 women and minority-owned firms through capital access, transformational capital access, to advance their businesses. And oftentimes, the hue and cry in our industry has been by managers large and small, or owner-operator developers large and small. How do we increase the diversity? We can't find the talent.
We're not just looking for that real estate club or finance major or econ or business major. We're looking for the humanities major, the liberal arts major, anyone that has an interest in real estate and really didn't know how to go about it. So the chemistry of the group is very unique and special in the sense that it not only is a balance of gender, balance of diversity, as well as balance of economic and cultural, as well as educational backgrounds. So all of these students come together in this laboratory where we conduct more than an 8 to 10 hour day for these students, where they come prepared as early as 8 a.m. They leave at 5 p.m.
Coming into this program, I didn't really know exactly what to expect, but it exceeded my expectations in every way, shape, and form. The people that you're exposed to, Blackstone, for example, they came in for 2 separate days, and we were able to get our resumes sort of checked by them, and they were a huge help for me, navigating kind of private equity recruiting, and just talking to so many different professionals has been mind-blowing, and I know I couldn't get this opportunity really anywhere else.
A lot of them really, didn't know what commercial real estate was or real estate investing was. They thought of it as kind of flipping houses. So to understand that it's a trillion-dollar industry, the irony of it is that all of us touch and feel commercial real estate every day. We go to a shopping mall, we go into a doctor's office building, or we go to our friends, colleagues, parents' jobs in a regular office building, but we don't really understand kind of there's a business behind that. And so having these kids see how that's connected and all the different players and all the things that go into it, it's really, hopefully, and for most of them it is, an eye-opening experience, and that's the best part, is to see them kind of come in, have very limited knowledge, and walk away having a breadth of knowledge about the industry.
So I had a friend about 2 years older who had done the Artemis Summer Enrichment Program and spoke so positively about her experience. She said it made her want to do real estate as a career, and she'll be doing real estate full-time now. And I met Artemis at the career fair, and I really enjoyed speaking with the people and learning about their experience in real estate. So I reached out to Linda, and it went from there.
When I first got interested in finance, I really didn't know where to go and what direction to head. It's a really big, general, broad industry. And last summer, I kind of delved into equities and stocks and those kinds of things. And then I had an opportunity to delve into credit and leverage kind of loans and things like that. Those are two very big parts of finance in terms of the capital structure. But I never really had a chance to find like the industry that I wanted to be in. And there's never really an opportunity out there that people present where you can learn. Not only do you get to really immerse yourself within the Artemis team and the real estate private equity industry, but you have the opportunity to ask questions and get to know people in all parts of the real estate process. So for example, I think at the architecture firms in Intech and Gensler, I've learned a lot of things that I wouldn't normally learn if I was just at Artemis. At Berkeley Point, I understand the whole debt origination portion of the multifamily industry. These are all questions that everybody at Artemis most certainly is knowledgeable of. But being able to ask the person who is specialized in this industry, who is passionate about that particular subsector, is an opportunity you won't get elsewhere.
You're forced out of our comfort zones and meeting new friends, living with new people at American University. And it was just a very conducive environment for making friends and colleagues. I've definitely got to work on my teamwork skills. From the case study, we had to work in teams of 5 to 6. And we each had a portion of a project that we had to take and make our own. So the process of working independently and then collaboratively was a great experience with some really, really awesome colleagues.
I really enjoyed going to eat-ins. Since I'm from the area, I've gone to Union Market before, and so that was probably one of my favorite property visits because I had gone and shopped around and been there with my friends, and I was able to experience it kind of behind the scenes and see their plan for the development.
Why is this important? Because you really do have to see it to believe it. You really have to kind of think about, for me, kind of those who came before you, understanding our ancestors, understanding those women on the Treasury steps that inspired me every day, those women on the cover of Time magazine that inspired me during that time period, because then you can actually see yourself.
So what is really the quality of your idea? How, again, is that differentiated from where else I could get access to those ideas? What's the quality of your team? Is your team going to stick together, over the course of this investment horizon? You're investing with active management, which means you're not investing in index funds. You're investing with managers who have a skill and they expect to beat the index. Then those are the returns you kind of expect to get. If you're investing all passive, you're investing just with the market, that means you're supposed to just kind of meet your benchmark. But for active management, we want to exceed our benchmark. So
I feel like I have a better understanding of what I really want to do and how I can get there. Just being able to talk to the people at Artemis, or even just the other people in all the other firms that we've talked to field, I feel like I've been able to really gain a lot of wisdom across a broad spectrum and really apply it to my own personal experiences, which I think is very important, especially at this time in my life where I'm trying to figure out what I want to do and who I want to be.
Because at the end of the day, the investors here, the investors next door, the investors in all of Artemis funds, that's what they care about. They care about the returns. Yeah, they have secondary goals like we want to incentivize small businesses, and we want to incentivize operating partners. Like mine's a minority-owned company. My partner's African American, so we want to incentivize diversity. All of those are secondary goals to making money.
They were very open in sharing their personal career stories and how they got from where they were to where they are currently, and I think that was very insightful. As a young person, it's important to see the path other people took and how you can see to model yourself against that. And I really enjoyed the aspect of people sharing their personal stories.
I remember one conversation I had with Paul from Cushman & Wakefield on our walk over to Gensler, and it was really interesting just to see the connections that you could share with people at these companies and understand that real estate is such a small world. It definitely was overwhelming for me at first, given that I didn't have much of a background, but the people in the program, the people working at Artemis were all incredibly friendly, and super hardworking. So it was kind of motivating, honestly, to see that these people really love what they do, they really care, and it made me want to learn more about real estate and get to the level that my peers were at.
So I think I've learned a lot about the financing and the underwriting. I didn't realize that there were so many assumptions that actually went into the underwriting of a property. It seems like something that a lot of people brush over when they speak about, but it's a very complex, thoughtful, model-driven solution. So that was probably something that I've learned the most about, just the financing and underwriting of properties.
It's tremendous that we have such a diverse group of interns geographically and from different schools that we come from. I thought it was very particularly interesting when we would do site tours of residentials and people's different perspectives on, is this expensive, is it cheap, and it's relative to what, you know, coming from New York, I think everything was pretty cheap. And then people coming from the Midwest were like, wow, this is tremendously expensive, and just having that kind of different perspectives, and then it really kind of like grounded where we were. And then we had some locals, which was also super cool, so they could really put all the places we visited in context.
I would really like to thank the organizers of this program. Linda, she was very helpful throughout the whole process and answering all our emails and making sure that we got to where we are and ensuring that we were learning as much as we can, as well as Debbie and Alex, who have really put in the effort to focus on the diversity of the program, because they really value diversity with their own firm, and they're really walking the talk, as you see.